Learning how to measure the 6 activities of daily living and the 8 instrumental activities of daily living was a game changer. And that's what I want to share with you in this video. The principal difference between the two is that the 8 ADLs require a higher level of thinking, planning, and decision making. Before we begin, let's do a quick recap. The 6 activities of daily living focus on your loved one's personal care capabilities, as compared to the 8 instrumental activities of daily living, which focus on everyday life tasks and how well those are performed. The discovery of the Katz Index and the Lawton-Brody Scale were game-changing. Both are tools used by industry professionals that help them focus on where your loved one needs help. That's why this video is so important. I'm going to walk you through the questions that are asked in each so that you'll have a better idea on how to use them. In this video, I'm going to explain the Katz Index and how it works for the 6 activities of daily living. Then I'm going to explain the Lawton-Brody Scale and see how it measures the instrumental activities of daily living. In both cases, we're going to talk about how you can use these tools to measure your loved one's proficiency. First, let's focus on the 6 activities of daily living. To recap, those are bathing, dressing, eating, transferring, toileting, and continence. First up is bathing. You'll see that these questions focus on whether or not somebody can take a bath independently and reach all parts of their body. We also ask you to consider how well they're doing with other grooming, like nails, hair, and teeth. The 2 big areas covered with dressing focus on how well they can put on their clothes, zip zippers, tie shoes, do things like that, as well as whether or not they're doing a good job picking the right clothes for the weather and the occasion. The eating questions ask you to think about how well your loved one can feed themselves, as well as take notice if there has been any weight loss or they seem to be dehydrated. Transferring, better known as mobility, focuses on how well people can move around the home, in and out of bed, and up and down from chairs. It also asks you to take a look at how well they may be using any mobility devices such as canes or walkers. For toileting, you're going to look at a couple of things. First, how well can they get in and out of the bathroom? Then how well can they get on and off the toilet? And then once they're done relieving themselves, can they do the proper hygiene and refasten their clothes? We also want you to look at if there's any fall or accident risks in the bathroom. The last ADL is continence. Here we're trying to determine how well someone is controlling their bladder and bowel movements. We would also ask you to consider whether or not some scheduled routines or some different undergarments may help with managing this. Let me give you a quick summary as to how the Katz Index works. You'll be asked to rate your loved one on a scale of 1 or 0. 1, they can do the activity fairly independently. 0, they need some assistance or maybe you have some concern. You're going to go through, rate each item, then at the end, you'll sum the score. And that will give you a rating from 0, which is somebody that's very dependent and could not do many of the steps, or highly independent, which means that they could do all 6 activities on their own. Now we're going to shift our focus to the 8 instrumental activities of daily living and how the Lawton-Brody Scale helps you measure these higher level thinking, planning, and decision-making activities. First up is using communication tools. As you'll see here, the questions tend to focus on using the telephone, but you might also think about how well a loved one uses email if that's something they've done in the past. Shopping is more than going to the grocery store. It might include the home improvement store or online shopping. As you evaluate these questions, think about all their different types of shopping experiences and how well they perform in each. Preparing meals includes a wide range of tasks. And in some households, a partner may have been performing those duties. So if somebody ends up with a 0 on this scale, that's not a big issue. You need to think about it in the context of what were they doing before and have their capabilities changed. Like preparing meals, cleaning and maintaining the home includes a wide range of tasks. Here again, you're measuring their capabilities relative to what they've done in the past. If they were never doing that activity, you can't expect them to suddenly pick it up now. Like the previous skills, doing the laundry can vary. In some households, everyone shares in the task. In others, only one person may handle it, and that person may not be there. So again, evaluate their capabilities for doing the laundry relative to what they were doing in the past. As you know, managing medications is a critically important task, and you want to keep an eye on this one. Again, you want to be thinking about, are they struggling with that? Are they forgetting to take their medications? Are they not certain how to do that? These are all important questions for you to analyze and consider. Handling finances can be stressful for all of us at any age, but you need to know seniors are big targets of fraud scams. So you want to keep an eye out and evaluate how well your loved one is handling their finances to prevent a bad outcome. The last IADL is arranging transportation, which is important for making it to medical appointments, running errands, and visiting with family and friends. It's also important from a safety perspective. It's one of these questions that has you think about whether or not they can continue to drive, and if they're not going to drive, what are other transportation options? So let's take a moment and quickly go through how the Lawton-Brody Scale works. You may have noticed that for each area, there were between 3 and 5 questions. Each question received either a 0 or a 1 score. So the maximum number of points you could get is 8. However, if somebody never prepared meals per se, or did the laundry, then their maximum score might be a 6. So when you're evaluating these, keep in mind what someone has done in the past and how things have shifted. I hope you find the Katz Index and the Lawton-Brody Scale incredibly helpful as you're trying to figure out how well your loved one is performing at various activities and where they need more help. So here are your next steps. Visit the GeriScope website. Read the blogs about the activities of daily living. Download the 2 tools, evaluate your loved one's capabilities, and we also recommend you periodically revisit those capabilities so you can track and monitor their performance over time. The GeriScope website is packed with additional tools and resources to help you navigate the senior caregiving adventure, riding the waves from I've got this to help. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and reach out to us anytime to share your ideas and ask your questions. We're happy to help. One last thing, I want to share with you our disclaimer. There's no way we can know everything that's going on with you and your loved ones. That's why we encourage you to speak with medical and legal professionals to get the best advice possible for your situation.